Welcome to Bosch Trading. This is the pre-market live show. I'm live now, as you can see, and I have my new camera installed. Wow, finally. Don't have to look into the computer anymore, so you can see my big ugly head really close to the screen. In the back there, you see, if you can, my producer. This is also my dog. And she promised me not to bark during the next 30 minutes, but I think I'm happy with my setup now. And had to clean the room a little bit because there was a lot of mess in the back, but I'm all ready now to share some insights with you on what's in play today and what's not in play today. And what will be in play today is Coinbase, of course. And when I just looked at it a few minutes ago, I looked in my level 2 for Coinbase Global Incorporated. And I see no price or anything like that, but I see now that VWAP is at 429 right now. So VWAP is at 429 right now. So that's mind-boggling to me, because it was at 250 when I did the early bird morning show this morning. So I'm not sure if I can count on that to be true, but 420 now is VWAP on Coinbase right now. So that's, well, can't get my head around that. So I'm not going to trade it today because it's going to be a volatile. It's going to be volatile as you can get, and it's something that can drop in a few minutes to, oh, what's that? It can drop in a few minutes to 200, and it can drop, can go sky high to 500, 600, 700, who knows. So I'm not going to trade that, but I'm going to look at NNDM, because I've been looking at NNDM for 5, 6, 7 days, and I first thought, well, this triangle here on this line, let's say 8, more or less, this will be the point of breaking out or breaking down. And what did it? It broke down. So if you have a short bias on NNDM, then you could have played this on a short side based on this triangle here. But I just don't believe that it will not get up again. So I am just inclined to, I just smuggled a little with my lines here, as you can see. And, well, will this be a breakout or will this not be a breakout? That's the big question. Here on that 792, 8-ish, that's also the 9 EMA on a daily. That's not the strongest level, but it is a level. It can be resistance. It's now just breaking above this high from yesterday. This one, only just now. So it has all the potential now to break over this line. It's Coinbase Day, of course, so we don't know what's happening on Coinbase Day. Pre-market was okay, I think, but you don't know what's going to be true. It's going to be a nervous day. I think a lot of people are going to refresh their screens in order to see if Coinbase will hit the market, and everybody wants to see if this 429 is true or that it's 250, because this morning was 250, or is it 429? And a lot of people want to save some cash in order to get into Coinbase, because they want to play it maybe not in the first minute, but that in the 5 or 10 minutes after that, because I think it will be halted upside. Predictions were 500 earlier this week. Opening in the opening, I think 500 it was, yeah. But nobody can tell, and there's no backing from banks because it's a direct listing IPO. So, and it's anyone's guess really. And as you know, I'm trading levels, and there's no level in Coinbase, so I'm not going to touch it today, and maybe look at it tomorrow again. So yeah, that's an NDM for me. I'm just going to watch it today and see if this is going to be a real breakout, or it's going to be in some choppy mood today. Another one that I have looked at this morning was MFNC. And this is why, as you can see, talking about a gap up, it's enormous. Pre-markets, it's been real quiet now. Also on the volume side of things. Just have a look at it now. So what you want after a push like this in post-market, but also market open and a little push in post-market, what you want to see is, if you want to play this, to look at this as a second-day runner, so it has to break this 22-ish level in order to be a real play. Then I saw this small one, Bluebird. Let's look at the daily first. So this is interesting. This is this enormous gap down from here to here. So that's a drop of 15-ish. And if you look at this as in a bigger picture, then maybe this is all consolidation. So it dropped down, opened here low, dropped down further. And then the point that you want to get in again is, of course, when it reaches this initial price here at 35. That's not going to happen today. But it just might be some play that you want to consider when markets open, because there was no volume in pre-market, so you have to wait till price action in order to play this one. And when I see this one, I also want to check on BBI. No. I saw Bluebird, and then I thought, well, BBI was on my list a while ago at this price 180. And that because the CEO at that moment, somewhere around here, I think bought, I don't know, 1 million shares at 180 in an offering. No, not in the offering. He bought, the manager himself bought 1 million shares or something like that at 180. So I thought, well, if he bought it at 180, then 180 is going to be a strong level. And it was for a few days, and then it just fell through and nothing happening there. So no longer on my watch list. And I also want to look at gults. I looked at this one this morning. Well, this is why. If you ever saw a channel, this is the perfect example. Do you see the channel or don't you see the channel? You see the channel, of course you do. Well, just have to know this is just this little breakout here, but I really want to keep the support line intact. So is this okay? Yeah. Do I want the support line? I do want the support line. So this is the mean. And you can trade this one until eternity, because on a daily, as long as it stays between those two lines. So this one is now here, and this one is now here. So if you play it today, then you could play it between those two levels. And I also, this was the other one, and this one looks like it's name-wise, but it's an all different ball game, because this is the ball game on Galt, G-A-L-T, Dialectin. I don't know what they do. This one is interesting because this is what we drew. This is what I drew at 10 o'clock this morning. And to see if there was some kind of breakout. So I had to break out above this one. And it didn't. It fell through this one. So this play is no longer in place. Pull this one down now. It's still, it's just one of those fade plays that you see all the time when popping up in pre-market at this high. It didn't pop up right away, but just a few minutes later, you still have 2 hours before market open. So only want to play that if this breaks this line, this trend, this downward trend that you see here. Did I do that right? I did do that almost right, but not entirely. I was bad at this at kindergarten. Normally kindergarten is 2 years, and I was in kindergarten for 3 years. I'm the only person in the whole of Holland who took 3 years to get through kindergarten. So this is the trend line. You want to see this above for a breakout above, and then feel it now just right above it. So you might as well just break a VWAP play here. So VWAP break, then come back to VWAP and test it again, and then go up again. So it's fading, but it's not fading beyond this price of open and close here. So maybe you should draw a line here. And when it gets into this triangle, it has to go either way or down. It has to go up or down, as always. But you can see it here. It has to break out or stay chopped for a while. As I said, we still have 2 hours, so. So that's this GALT. And then I'm going to look at Mara. Of course, everybody's going to look at all the other Coinbase plays. I took this one at 54. I didn't take this one, but what's happening here with Mara, we saw that yesterday in our show when I looked at Mara for 30 minutes. What I saw then here is that it didn't get over this 54. So 54.04 was the high, and here it is 54.52 with a big rejection. This is 54.20 with a rejection. So 54 seems to be a level for Mara. Do you want to draw this line on Mara now? Or don't you? I'm not completely sure. It's an upward trend. And on a daily, you see these higher lows, higher low, higher low, and then this looks like a flat top to me. So 1, 2, 3 attempts to get above that 54, and on the left-hand side, we see that it's trying to do that again now. And in normal situations, you would say, okay, well, if it breaks 54, then you're all in. But how does this one react to the Coinbase play? Will it go with it? If it goes up, or doesn't it go with it? Is it some kind of competitor, of course? So it's really hard to tell. So keep an eye on Mara at 54. That's going to be interesting. Then I have just another one on the watch list. It's OCGN. And you can see why. No, you can't see why. Well, you can see why. Pay very close attention. It's having trouble to pass this green line, which is the 9 EMA on the daily. And if I see that it has trouble, this was a big rejection, of course, 6 days ago from 825. I remember this stock being 50 cents. I traded this stock in this area. If I was an investor, I would have held it, of course, but I'm not. Certainly not in small stocks. So just let's look at OCGN. It's not, well, I don't want to place a bet on it, but this 6.9 is a level at this point. Because the trouble that it has to hold this line for the last 4 or 5 days. So if it gets above 6.9, I'm all, no, not all in, but I'm in. Let's see if this one did anything in pre-market. Not really. This is a nice spike up. There we have that $7 again. Might just be interesting now. OCGN can move. This ATR of 0.74 is is not an indicator of a big mover, but I know from experience that this can be a big mover. So what I'm looking for now is holding VWAP and then trade it up till take a little starter maybe, and then VWAP bounce starter, trade it above 690, then 700, and then 710. So baby steps, and 725. So you really need a tight stop on this one to make some money. And it also can just collapse in the morning and then get back on its feet during the day, maybe after Coinbase is hitting the market. So 665 will also be 665 will also be a level that's interesting to me. Okay, just look at the watch list live now, see what's happening in pre-market. What's this? Oh, that's no volume. So gold we discussed, Etsy we didn't discuss, but that's really lagging right now. BTBT, might just take a look at BTBT. Or did we already? No, we didn't. Did we? No. I did this morning. You see the same pattern here in BTBT, big pop up and then going down again, which is always interesting because you can always draw this line more or less accurate, not so accurate this time because you don't have a real point here at this moment. Or just you might see this on this as a level. You might see this as a level. Let's see if it is. On a 5-minute channel, this is 17.80. This is 17.84. This is 17.84. This is 17.85. Well, do I need to say more? 17.82 is just might be a level. And then I'm curious what it does when it closes in now on this triangle. It's going to be 1.5 hours before markets open, but if it breaks out on either side of this channel triangle, then you have to play on your hands. See if there is any more than CTRM is on this again. This is CAN, and this one stays high. So this is a little bit different pattern than we saw in the afternoon, of in the other stock. In the other stock, you could you can just draw a line like this. You can now you have to draw a line like this. Because it recognizes here resistance at 84 at no, not at 84. At 1630. 1630, 1630. So what is the resistance? It's 1630. That's 50 cents away now from where stock's trading now. And this is also a level because it's open and closes almost the same at 1536. So my producer just went away and went to sleep. That's what I saw. Just got bored of talking of me talking stocks, I think. Well, let's have a look at Palantir. Everybody's talking about Palantir all the time, so I'm not always inclined to do so because you can hear about Palantir in all the other shows. This is Palantir. This is 2583, and this is 2583. And in my book, that's a double top. And everybody else's book, that's also a double top. So this classic short is double top. And this is of course, and I see here a pattern on the 5 minutes, and this is the lower high here. Here's a lower low. And it chops for a while, but never gets above that high again. So that's another indicator for you that it's might not go up, but you never know, of course. But if everybody exactly knew what was going to happen, then we would all be millionaires, and we are not. So this is just a nice point to trade off from. So it goes up, and then you. If you are short biased, then you go short here or here. If you want to be safe, this would be a safer spot. Absolutely right. Just 1 cent lower. And so this would be the point where you go to short. And then you're nervous the whole time here for a long time, because this is the 5 minute drill, and then finally here you get rewarded, and this is 25.30, so you made 40 cents. Not ideal, but okay. Now look at the other way. If there's some indication that it will turn, this wick I would ignore. 25.16 is the level. Just look at the daily. We talked about this more than I thought, I think, because I gave those consolidations here, and then this real going up, consolidation going up. Are we seeing the same here, or are we? It's always risky to do that on a stock, to say, okay, well, it did it here, it did it here, well, maybe. Or maybe it doesn't count in trading. So it might just be interesting to follow this stock and see if it can break at 25.84 again, and then there's a lot of room up to the upside to 27.16 and even to 27.46. Let's see, it's almost, no, it's not almost, it's 2 o'clock Amsterdam time. I hope you have a happy trading day. Be careful if you're going to trade Coinbase, because it is a difficult stock to trade. It's going to be volatile. You're going to lose a lot of money if you don't watch carefully, and you're also going to lose a lot of, and you're going to gain a lot of money if you're on the right side of this play. I'm not going to trade it, but I'm going to see what's happening and just sit back and watch the fireworks. Happy trading day, and I'm back on Bosch Trading on Friday, and tomorrow I'm back at 10 o'clock with the early bird show. So see you tomorrow.